Hello everyone, welcome to this video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Moyo and you're so welcome to She Bites. I make videos all about food, faith and lifestyle, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a lovely apple crumble pie. I'm also going to be announcing the winners of the giveaway at the end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned, don't skip ahead, watch through, and then at the end you're going to hear who the winners are. For all the ingredients, don't worry, they're in the description box below so you can check them out. We're going to be making 3 elements: the pie base, then the apples, and then the crumble topping, and then it's all going to come together very nicely. So let's start with the pie base. It's going to be a sweet pastry, so here we have some white flour, some white sugar and a little bit of salt. Mix all that together and then add your butter that has been cut into small cubes. Then you're going to basically rub the butter into the flour until you have a breadcrumb like texture. You want some big chunks and some smaller chunks of butter to give it a nice and crumbly texture. Then you're going to add in 1 egg. If we're making a savory pastry, we're going to use water, but because it's a sweet pastry, you're using an egg. If after adding your 1 egg, your pastry is still a little bit dry, you can add a couple of drops of water just until everything comes together. You don't want to work the dough too much, you just want to bring everything together nicely until it forms a dough. Then you're going to leave it to rest in the fridge for about 30 minutes to 2 hours or even overnight. Next up, we're going to prepare the apples. You want to peel them and then we're going to slice them nicely. When they're all peeled, you're going to then core them, that is remove the center, and then slice them into nice and thin pieces as you can see here. It's really nice if you can get your apples to be very even so that they cook evenly and you don't have some mashed ones and some raw ones in there, unless that's what you want, unless you want that kind of difference of texture. But I think if you want to have an even outcome, try as much as possible to get even slices of apples. I know it's not that easy, but you can try. As you slice the apples, don't wait until you're done. As you slice them, put them in a bowl with some lime juice to make sure that they don't turn brown, because apples oxidize really quickly. So just keep doing that until you're done slicing all your apples. When you're done, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder and 1 tablespoon of sugar and mix everything together very nicely. Now that our dough has rested for some time, we're going to roll it out with this lovely She Bites rolling pin that my cousin gave to me. I love you and thank you so much. So you can roll out your dough basically on a plain floured surface. Don't worry if it looks a little bit cracked, you don't want to work the dough too much. When you bring it out of the fridge, you can actually leave it to rest for about 5 minutes so that it warms up a little bit, but not too much. You don't want your butter melting everywhere, you want it to be cold but not hard. So you're going to roll it out until it's about a 2mm thickness. You want it to be wider than your pie tin so that you can basically put it over and then cut off any excesses. At this point, I would say just be patient with your dough, don't overwork it. Make sure your surface is very well floured and just keep going until you have your desired size. It's really easy. And just make sure that, for example, your hands are not overly hot so that your pastry doesn't start melting while you do the work. Then you want to basically put your dough, you can pick it up with your rolling pin if it's a bit difficult for you to pick it up with your hands. Then you're going to place it on top of your pie tin and basically push it into all the corners, press it on over the edges, and then cut off any excess dough that you have. Apple crumble pie is perfect for me because I don't really like cooked fruit. So when I have the pie base and I have the crumble topping, I have enough pastry to make the cooked fruit like nice and interesting to me. So I just love having this kind of 2 layers of pastry, and I love crumble, so it works perfectly. So you just want to make some holes in your pie base with a fork, just so that it doesn't puff up when you bake. You can also pre-bake it if you would like, although I didn't do that step this time. Now we're making the crumble. You're just going to combine the butter and the sugar, and then you're going to add the flour, the oats, and the cinnamon powder, and then mix it together until you have a nice crumbly texture. Next up, we're going to arrange the apples on the base of the pie. You can arrange them in a nice symmetrical pattern if you're up to it. It's actually really satisfying and you feel really proud of your work at the end of the day. But if you don't have time, that is fine. You can just pour them in there and press them down until you have an even spread so that they cook nice and evenly. Whichever one works for you is perfect. While this is happening, you want to make sure that your oven is preheated to 180 degrees Celsius. After you've placed all your apples, you're then going to sprinkle the crumble topping all over until your apples are very well covered. You're then going to bake this in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown. Then you can cut into it, serve it with some custard, with some ice cream, and basically enjoy. As I said before, I just love how you have two layers of pastry. You have the pastry at the bottom and you have the crumble on top. Just makes it perfect. For me, I don't like my apples to be overly cooked, but if you like very nicely cooked apples, you could also cook the apples before you put them into the pie, but I like a little bit of bite to my apples. You could also use Granny Smith apples or other kinds of green, more cooking apples to give you more of a tangy flavor. I really love making apple crumble with Granny Smith apples. Anyways, thank you so much for watching till this point. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe, and now it's time for our giveaway winner announcement. I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that participated. I saw so many comments on my Instagram post. Some people were saying finally she has done giveaway. You guys not told me you wanted a giveaway, but thank you so much for participating. Congratulations to the winners. Kindly DM me and I'll get your prizes to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.